Okay.
Have some good stories today in the AI roundup, although I think I'm told we're not calling that anymore. I don't know, but
No.
no,
But,
we're not calling it something
you'll
else.
hear about it in a sec, guys.
All right. So what do we have?
Yeah.
Cool AI generated Coke, whatever. Amazon products, ChatGPT usage, and then a fun story about military drones.
Yes. Just to put put everybody at ease that it's all going fine, and we're not at risk of imminent death by hive swarms of deadly drone robots from the military.
Nope,
Yeah.
not at all. All right, let's get into it.
Every time. Welcome to this week's weekly news about AI. So we changed the title slightly. Had a comment a couple of weeks ago about somebody who said, it could weekly AI roundup could sound as though it's generated by AI. And then I thought back to all the thumbnails that I've made that had actual sort of robots and things, and it kind of had a point. Because it's one of the lowest performing segments, amongst our huge viewership. Yes.
Did we change that? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't see our own thumbnails.
I still call it the AI roundup. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's not an AI roundup because it's not generated by AI.
You don't know that.
But speaking of our huge viewership, it's not the size of the viewership, it's how you use it, right? Thank you to all our subscribers. We love you very much, and if you're not subscribed, then think about it. Join us.
This close to 600.
Yeah. I was watching another channel yesterday, and it was the same number of subscribers that we had, except with a 000 at the end.
Yeah,
so I was like, perfect. They have literally 100,000. Anyway, whatever.
Awesome.
We don't do it for the views, right? We do it for the fun.
We just do it for fun. Thank God.
So first story.
Lucky you.
Cola from the future. Coca-Cola reveals AI-generated drink, which is, I mean...
My comment in Discord was, I literally cannot roll my eyes hard enough at this story.
I mean, yeah, it's everybody's jumping on the AI bandwagon.
So stupid. So they asked people to write in describing their perfect flavor. Then they used AI to create a flavor profile, which they went and made. And then they used AI to generate the can design. From what I could see, it's becoming available. The people who have tried and reviewed it say it's really not a great flavor. So maybe we're like a new Coke situation again. But it's nothing but a marketing stunt.
Yeah, well, they have they do a lot of these. I love to have, by the way, for the people listening to the show, as Mike always says, what's wrong with you? But also, scroll up again. Sorry, because this is on a site called interestingengineering.com, and they at the top of the page, underneath the headline, it's under the section innovation.
Innovation. I know. They innovated. They created. Oh, and it's a zero sugar, so it's Coke Zero with I read it described as purple as the flavor.
Coke.
There was one other piece they mentioned that like on each can there's a QR code that will take you to like some kind of like personalized futuristic thing. Can I find it in the story? Yeah, each Y3000 can has its own QR code, which when scanned will give the customers a sneak peek into what the year 3000 will look like. Ridiculous.
I love it. I do a fair bit of travel. One of my favorite things is seeing the weird flavors that you can get abroad, like lime Coke and vanilla Coke and things like that. When I went to Kuala Lumpur, they had special edition cans like this, and it's very effective on me as a marketing strategy. I went out and bought all of them and took some of them home and didn't actually drink them. I mean, it's so dumb for a can of Coke, but it works for me.
My wife traveled to London recently to visit some coworkers, and they demanded that she bring some Hershey candies with her. I think the peanut butter cups were the popular ones because apparently you either don't have them or they're different.
American chocolate is very different. It's not really chocolate. It's very synthetic. I think it doesn't qualify as actual chocolate in the EU because it doesn't have enough cocoa content in it.
Yeah, it's milk chocolate, very low quality.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Okay. George R. R. Martin and other authors sue OpenAI for copyright infringement, according to The Verge. This is, I think, just a kind of a continuation of a story we've already mentioned multiple times in past AI roundups.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting because there's a couple of authors in there that I respect and some that I don't respect. John Grisham's pretty cool. George R. R. Martin, I don't know. I don't know if I can forgive him for never finishing the Song of Ice and Fire, but whatever. They're good at getting into headlines. I'll tell you that. I would say that it's almost a marketing prank. Like if they don't win this, they've still won. Do you know what I mean?
Just so much publicity for the product.
Yeah, for them and their books. But hey, good luck to them. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what the outcome is. If it's any kind of precedent-setting thing, Westeros won't bend the knee, says The Verge. Yeah, very good. Well done.
I guess
a gold star for this.
The risk they could have is they have multiple suits from multiple parties, and if they lose any one of them, it could probably set a bad precedent for the rest. So maybe, I don't know if that's better to their advantage or to their disadvantage.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend. Well, these kind of things usually depend on like the intricacies of the exact argument that's being made. Yeah. So somebody else can kind of take the same thing and try again in a slightly different way. Yeah, it's probably going to go on for years and years and years. So if they lose this, then they'll appeal and it will go to another court circuit, whatever. So I almost see this as they probably calculated how much money they need to spend on lawyers and how much money they'll get in return for extra book sales. And, they're going to win either way.
It'll be more interesting when they start going after Bard, Google Bard, or maybe even like the Bing chatbot, because then you're talking about search engines who have already kind of litigated the idea that they're able to crawl the internet copyright free for purposes of search.
Yeah, and I would guess that's probably going to be the sort of main defense is that other people are doing this already in different ways. So why aren't they getting sued? Yeah. And there's probably some precedents there with people who've tried to sue, like newspapers. I don't know. They're going to cite fair use basically, and we'll see what happens. But I don't imagine we'll see much of this until it either fails or I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, all right.
Amazon debuts generative AI Alexa, smart glasses, and TV sticks. This is, whatever. Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party. I mean, they didn't take that long. The smart glasses thing is interesting to me, although this segment isn't about smart glasses, it's about AI, but it had AI in the title, so, it goes in. We were talking about another pair of smart glasses on Discord. Everybody should join Discord. What's it called? Visor.com, that's right. And they make you look like an 80s pop star. They're kind of like a proper visor, like what do they call them? Like ski glasses? No, not ski glasses, but
goggles.
They're very retro. Very retro. And it's all about meant to work productivity. And Blackjack and Hook has commented that we're going to end up with 10 pairs of glasses, which is quite an amusing image. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works out. What do you know how the AI is going to work for Alexa? Is it just going to be like Siri, basically? I mean,
yeah, it's just a chat. They say it'll get to know your preferences over time. What I liked about the smart glass reference here is that the Amazon smart glasses are to smart glasses what Amazon's AI is to AI, right? It's late to the party, incomplete. Oh. So they're not actually smart glasses. They're actually smart frames.
Oh.
So you can listen to music, you can do like Alexa stuff with them, but as best I can tell from reading through their documentation, it's not actually like a lens or anything that you see. There's no kind of AR or VR to it. It's just kind of the audio interface.
Oh, I really should in your ear. I should read these articles before we talk about them.
Yeah,
Here's the thing, right?
I think they even call them that here. I don't see where it is. I was reading a bunch of articles about it before. Echo frames. So they even make it more clear in the branding, despite what the headline says.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, interesting. They've spent so much money on pushing Alexa, and it's all been at a loss as far as I can tell. They kind of like it was sort of almost like a metaverse thing, you know, like they decided this is going to be the next big thing. This is how we're going to make money. We're going to push it into every corner of every end user's home, and then we're going to start making money from it. And it never kind of materialized like that, not quite as with as much fanfare as the metaverse, but it did. Yeah, I heard that they were kind of winding things down on that front. But hey, maybe they're still at it. I don't know.
We actually got one for our house. We didn't buy it. Somehow, like, we won it, or it was part of a swag pack or something. And it was fun to mess with for like a day. And then we just muted it and turned off the microphone and camera, and it just is basically a clock now.
Okay, really? I don't know. I think they scare me too much, to be honest. Yeah. I don't like the idea of things being able to listen to everything that I'm doing and saying.
I mean, I was totally fine with that part of it. I just couldn't find anything interesting to do with it.
Well, that's because you have no sense of self-preservation. When the AI overlords, when they finally take over, unless they have already, of course, then I think you're going to get away with it because you'll be welcome.
Yeah, they'll already know everything about me.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
shocking.
This is. I know. I put this on Discord. I was just thought, well, ChatGPT usage is rising again as students return to school. Oh well, yeah. Okay.
They try to say in the article that it's maybe not all student traffic. So I think they said overall traffic was up 23%. Or overall traffic was up 12%. It was up 21% on EDU domains and 8% for everybody else.
Okay, so it's up across the board.
So up across, but I mean, 8% of non-EDU domains could still be students.
True, yeah.
Or people using it for school.
Yeah, very likely to be, actually. So, I don't know. Do you think that back in like the 80s, they had news articles saying calculator usage up now that kids are back at school?
I mean, certainly calculator sales are up during back to school time.
Calculator sales, yeah. I mean, good. ChatGPT is not going away, so that's the natural evolution. What's the next one going to be? ChatGPT. Okay, here's going to be the next. ChatGPT usage down now that school holidays are up or something like that.
Yeah, ChatGPT says unprecedented dip in usage.
Yeah, around Christmas.
Over Christmas.
Pornhub usage up, ChatGPT usage down.
Oh, I wonder what that relationship is. That's interesting.
Okay, another one.
Yeah, I think this is great.
Yeah. Google's Bard can now read emails as company tries to show it's useful. The search giant ChatGPT competitor will be integrated with Gmail and Google Docs. Everybody's doing it. Microsoft, Google, it's AI is infiltrating our lives. I mean, it's almost as if there's some sort of plan, isn't there?
I don't necessarily think this is great. I wish it could be useful, and I'm skeptical that it would be.
I think I could see loads of ways it would be useful, actually. 100%. Because, I mean, 90% of emails are carbon copies but just to different people. They're like, I know I can... The reason that I can multitask most of the time is because some of the tasks are mindless. Replying to someone, oh, thanks, hey, whatever. I don't... the normal like prompts that you get in some email clients about how to reply, like, hey, thanks, or I don't know, where is it in like iMessage or the SMS?
Yeah, Android does it too.
Yeah. So you can have like a default prompt, but they're usually not my voice. Like, it's not the kind of thing that I would say, like, hey, thanks, or whatever. Like, I would never write that, but I might say cheers or something like that. But if an AI could learn my style and basically reply for me, or I go, yeah, or whatever, that would be good. I wouldn't like it.
So anybody emailing with Peter from now on, just know that you are getting his best AI impersonation.
Yeah.
No personal responses from Peter.
No. If I could get away with that, I would just hole up in a little room. Wait, hang on. And live my life in front of the computer, I was going to say, but...
I do like the idea of like summarizing emails, having it summarize emails for you.
Yes. So what was it? Microsoft actually they were listing all the ways that they wanted to integrate AI or Sydney, whatever, into the Office suite. And some of the things that they suggested there were actually like, oh yeah, that could be good. The summaries, predicting when you're going to be around and when you're not, adjusting things for you, kind of like tweaking settings and things, replying to stuff. I don't know. I think there's a ton of ways that AI can kind of gently do things for you. And the best sci-fi movies that I've seen with robots that do that have been like that. Actually, I'm just finishing up reading a series at the moment called Cradle by Will White. It's very cool. It's like an anime in a paper, in a book form. It's 12 books long, amazing stuff. Really, really cool. It's a genre called progression fantasy where you have this, like Orford or whatever, and he ends up being a dread god kind of level power thing. Anyway, there's an aspect of it which is the Abidan, who are like like they've ascended beyond the world, and they have these things called presences, and they're basically like little robots that kind of sit in their brain and help suggest things to them and do calculations for them and stuff whenever they need to, and they're all context sensitive. That's the kind of thing I want. I want something that is totally in my head, that is going to sit there and analyze my stuff, tell you and just suggest useful, helpful things that I can turn off as well. Yep. They often get annoying and you turn off.
And it's
I want it to have a
illustrated, like what's that called? Not like a comic book.
Oh, like a graphic novel.
Graphic novel. Yeah.
No, it's the reason I called it like anime in a book is because it's like, if you've watched any kind of manga or anime series where they have these epic battles and stuff, it's like that, but described really well in a book as a book. Very, very cool stuff.
Would it be good on an audiobook?
Yeah, it's cool. It probably would be, depending on the narrator. But yeah, anyway, kind of a bit off track there.
So here's our big fun one for the day. We'll wrap up with this from the New Yorker. AI and the next generation of drone warfare.
Yes. Yeah. This. Oh God.
So on and they really nailed it. On August 28th, Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks announced what is being called the Replicator Initiative, which envisions swarms of low-cost autonomous machines that could remake the American arsenal.
I mean, oh my God, the Replicator Initiative. Like, I mean, they were going for ominous, right? They were going for like hive mind swarms that are going to just dominate the enemy.
Did they name it that because they did watch Stargate, or because they didn't watch Stargate? I think those are the replicants, right?
There's loads of funny stuff in this article.
Funny stuff.
Hilarious. Imagine a swarm of hundreds or even thousands of unmanned aerial drones communicating with each other as they collect intelligence on enemy troop movements, and you will begin to understand the Deputy Secretary's vision for Replicator. Yeah, like it's sort of it's like a intro to a horror movie where, you know, AI drones have taken over the world or something. What's going to happen when they get hacked? That's what I want to know. What nefarious purposes can they be?
I highlighted this one. You can have 10 or 20 or 50 drones all fly over the same transport, taking pictures with their cameras. And when they decide that it's a viable target, they send the information back to an operator in Pearl Harbor or Colorado or someplace. And then the operator would order the attack. So you could call that autonomy because a human isn't flying it, but ultimately there will be a human pulling the trigger at the recommendation of the drones who have on their own decided what would be a good target.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way this could possibly go wrong, right? It's going to be all fine. They'll send out, swarms of drones. They will get the right target every single time, and everybody will be just bad guys get killed by replicators.
One thing that I did like about the article, not like about the article, but like about the idea, that's not even related to AI, is they talk about how currently the U.S. military is largely based on these gigantic, expensive platforms like aircraft carriers or giant tanks or billion-dollar airplanes. And so this is a shift to smaller, lower cost, more replaceable devices. So we're not dependent on these. And they talked about how some of these platforms we spend billions of dollars on, and they never even get finished because by the time we're done with them, the technology's old. And so this makes better use of that money, I think.
Yeah, what was it? There was another quote I saw. I thought this was funny because of the guy's name. In my entire career, the military strategy has been to build these exquisite and expensive systems, which are incredibly effective, says Chris Gentle, a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel who is now vice president of EpiSci, a defense contractor that develops autonomous systems. He flew stealth fighters. He flew the F-22. It's an amazing airplane, but we only bought 187 of them. I mean, he wants to, yeah. And what's going to happen to these devices when they kind of like decommissioned, when they get shut down? Are they going to be reusable? Can someone, because they're going to be hacked, right? You can't have that crazy security.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got drones now, though. Do they get hacked? We don't hear lots of stories about them.
Well, the other thing was, that's a very good question, actually. I'm going to have a look into that. Ukraine is losing 10,000 drones per month while still being able to prosecute the war. So this kind of technology is, already in widespread use. It's just adding a bit of AI into it so that it can go completely and utterly wrong on its own. Yeah.
I picture them like the...
sorry, go on.
I picture them like the 4th of July drone shows where they make these like complicated shapes and images in the sky and rotate in 3D, except now they can shoot at you.
So there was one story this week, it's just a preview of, well, we're recording next week. John isn't with us today, by the way. He's currently flying, I think. Yeah, I know. I just meant to say.
He's not over there?
Sorry, Mike. No, he's not. He's flying he's controlling a hive of autonomous drones, and he's got to get the practice in, apparently. There was a story that we're going to be talking about next week, which is about the robotaxis and how they're blocking up streets and things. And my general take on it is that I think we are. Did we vote on that?
I'm not sure we are.
Oh, God, no, we didn't. All right, well, we should. I mean, hey, so there's a story in the list to which we didn't vote on.
Visit Discord. We'll share the link.
Yeah. Come to so there was cruise robotaxis caused Austin Street gridlock due to heavy pedestrian traffic. Basically, I didn't know about these cruise robotaxis. They are blocking streets because there's like one of them is driving one way and the other driving another way, and they get confused with each other and they just kind of lock up. And then another one comes, and they're just apparently there's queues like miles and miles of them. And I thought, oh God, that's funny. That is hilarious. But it's kind of like, I mean, this is just teething problems, right? This is they're sorting the tech out. They're going to keep at it.
Yeah, so like John's theory about like these all being like coordinated and connected to each other. I don't even know if that solves this problem.
Mine too. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't mean to, I just thought it was hilarious. But all of these kind of technologies go through teething problems, right? Whenever you have something new like this, it's going to have these kind of hilarious stories where, robots are bumping into each other and going, sorry. And what kind of teething problems are the swarms of deadly drones that the military is going to use have? Like,
it'll be fine.
Are they going to wipe out entire like the wrong schools or something, and then they'll be like, "Oh, sorry."
No problems at all. No problems at all.
Yeah.
All right. So good rundown. We will have John back for Monday.
Hopefully, there will be no civilian casualties. That's all I can say.
Hopefully, indeed.
Hear from. Yeah. No. Absolutely. He's a great pilot. Great AI operator.
All right. Have a great weekend, everyone.